Today we've got a bit of a roar, a bit of a copy, and a bit of a legend, all combined into one video. You don't want to miss this. Now, what Leatherman did is, at the end of this run, I even remember seeing it on their website, is they were selling half of a handle. So they were selling, well, actually it was something like this. One of these was called the Juice CS3, where they were selling the corkscrew tools and then the scissor, obviously no plier or anything like that, but they were selling essentially half of a Juice handle. That's what it looked like. Now, what we have right here is what looks like a Chinese company, an overseas company on AliExpress, trying to mimic that to some extent. I guess they've taken the general idea. What we have right here is a bottle cap lifter. We've got a file that's not very good. It's very, very weak file right there. Then on the other side, we have a knife right there. Then in the middle, we have this tool right here, which is a pair of nail clippers. Now, this seems to be the new rage on AliExpress and Amazon, where people are trying to sell everything with nail clippers. I've used these kinds before. Roxxon has a version with these, and there's different other cheaper versions. They seem to work okay, not maybe the best. I really haven't found that much wrong with them. They have always seemed to cut. I don't know how I feel about just buying a knife, nail clipper, and then a file, I guess, to file your nails. I guess this is a grooming multi-tool to some extent. It really doesn't have too many other features. I think that's basically it. I think those are the three features right there. You can throw it on your keychain. It is what it is. I think it's about $8 or so with shipping. Not too bad. I wanted to let you know about it. I will put a link in the description below. This tool also has a screwdriver on the end. Overall, I would probably rate this tool a 3 or a 4 out of 10. Some people will find those nail clippers useful. The knife, not so much. Probably get dull very quickly. But just alone, because of the nail clippers, it's not a total failure, but it is a pretty junky tool. I need your help to hit 20,000 subscribers. Would you subscribe right now? Hey, I appreciate it. Now, in 1996, Swisstech came out with the Microtech, which is this tool right here. This was made in the USA. I believe it was made in Ohio, I think. This tool right here is a fantastic little tool. I like it for its fidget factor. You can lock it into a keychain when you pull these arms like here. Then it locks it in place, and then you can hang it from your keychain. When you undo it right here, what you've got is a Phillips screwdriver. You also have a flat screwdriver. Now they talk about I think some wire cutting, maybe with these handles and so forth, but basically you just have a plier and 2 screwdrivers, I think in all practical senses. It's a very nice little micro multi-tool. Now, one of probably my favorites. Now, there is Sabertech, I believe it is, made a cool version as well. I don't have an original one. I have a copy. I do plan to get one of those in the future. Now, the modern version of that Swisstech is this right here. It still says Swisstech. You'll notice this one did have a USA stamp on it. That is a difference. Now, this one is sold for $3. So you still have the plier head right there. We've still got our Phillips screwdriver. We've still got our flat screwdriver. You can still lock this in place right there on your keychain. Pretty cool right there. But there's a big difference. Now, with the original one, you could undo the handles. They were still pretty solid. With this one, you undo the handles and it just floats right there. It's very, very loose. Now, I don't know if you could peen these handles with like a mallet, maybe tighten them up a little bit. But it is unfortunate that now it still locks in place. It tightens up when you do that. But in this position, using it as plier handles, it's not as effective because it's very, very loose. This is $3. Sometimes it's $20 to buy these used on eBay. I would say it's $20 well spent because these are USA made product and you can tell it. There is a big difference between the two. If you can't stomach that, go ahead, spend $3. It's not the most, it's not the worst product ever. Just be aware that it is a lot weaker design now because of, unfortunately, the lack of quality control. But it's still a pretty cool design overall. To think that from 1996 to this modern day, this is still being produced. Now, this next multi-tool, you will either love this or some of you may hate this. Let's go ahead and get started. Start with the tail. We've got the pencil right here in the tail. The tail is not the eraser. You've got to flip this over to get to the eraser. Got to do some surgery on the dinosaur. Then in the stomach, we find both the eraser and the stapler. Go ahead, put the stapler back in its holder, like so. I think I may have this upside down actually, but we'll just leave that out for now. And the eraser. All right, so that's in its stomach. Then in here, we've got the pencil sharpener. So right there's the mouth. Then also the shavings go underneath, and then you can access that door where the pencil shavings are. And then in its mouth, we've got the ruler. So this is, I think this is actually a measuring tape, maybe inside here. And it's actually a measuring tape on the outside as well. So you've got the inches, you got metric. This is dinosaur stationery. I don't know. It's really weird, I guess, to be going over this, but I thought this was fun. I bought this. My kids thought this was amazing. It was just the greatest multi-tool ever for a couple days, and then they lost interest in it. Now, this thing goes about for $15. So if you're trying to get a young learner interested in multi-tools, what better way than to get him something like this? Or instead of maybe even like this Swisstech Microtech, because you can get them started in this and then maybe gift them another small keychain tool a year or two later. But I thought this was a fun thing. There's a different varieties. Some of these have a hat on the top. There's all kinds of different options, but here again, it does come with the eraser, the pencil, the stapler, the pencil sharpener, and the ruler. So it is a 5-in-1 dinosaur multi-tool. What do you think about that?